Hey everyone, you are not going to believe this. Well, actually, as soon as I tell you, you probably will believe it, but this is absolutely ridiculous. Anyway, let's talk about this for just a second, but if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button right down below the video. So, wow, you know me, right? I do a lot of research every day. I was just playing around doing some research, as I always do, trying to find more content that I can provide to you and help you out. And I looked up a few things that I've honestly never looked up before because I just figured there was just no reason to. I never thought to really look this up. And I never knew what the real numbers were until I just found this. I was actually doing research here in my little studio room here, and Corey's downstairs, and I ran down and I was like, you won't believe this. This is crazy. And I told her, and she's like, that's ridiculous, but I'm actually not surprised at the same time. So what am I talking about? So you know that I do a lot of research on like Congress and the stimulus and all this money and stuff like this. I mean, it's not the only thing I look up, but it's something that I keep my eye on because, that's kind of what's going on right now. We want to see what's going on as far as Congress. Well, all of our little buddies in Congress are sitting on vacation right now. Who knows what they're doing? Probably not much, right? I think all of us can agree on that. Here's a couple things. Do you know how many days per year they actually work? Just take a guess. So here's what I'm going to have you do. I'm going to talk about a couple things here, but just think about this. How many days per year do you actually think they work? To give you a reference, I know a lot of you already know this, but just to give you a quick reference, the average American works 240 days a year. Just to put that into perspective. How many days per year do you think the House of Representatives and the Senate work in any calendar year? Let me give you a hint. Go lower than you're probably thinking. Not only that, do you realize how much these people earn to work this many days per week, which I'll tell you here in just a second? I'm not laughing because it's funny. I'm laughing because it's like, wow, this is like a cakewalk job. I feel like, man, I should be like a senator or a representative. You literally do nothing and you get paid a pretty nice income. Wow. Guess who pays that income, by the way? Yeah, raise your hand. We do. Anyway, wow. Do you have your answers? Feel free to stick those down below in the comments section. I'd love to hear what you have to say as far as what you're thinking. How many days per year do they work? Do they actually work? And how much do you think these people earn in a year on the taxpayer's dollar, on the taxpayer's dime? Dig into your wallet. You got to dig deep this time. All right. Let's talk through this. Let's talk through this. This is just ridiculous. I've honestly never looked this up before because I just figured it doesn't really matter, right? I want to know other things as far as stimulus and stuff, but I came across this and it's like, you've got to be kidding me. All right, so here we go. I'll tell you first. I'll tell you how much the average congressperson, the average person in Congress earns. The House and the Senate, just across the board. The average person. This is not the leaders. This is the average person in Congress. They earn $174,000 a year. $174,000 a year across the board is the average salary, the average base salary of these people, not including the leaders and the minority leaders, the leaders and the minority leaders. So like Nancy Pelosi, Kevin McCarthy, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, these people, not including them. All right, so now you have that. I'm going to hold off on how much these leaders earn because that's a different number. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you right now. So the leaders, this is excluding Nancy Pelosi. She actually earns the most out of all of them. Why? That's what I'm wondering. Why does she earn more? But here you go. The leaders, so as in the leaders in the House and the leaders in the Senate, they earn $193,000. So they get to earn an extra $19,000 more than the average base salary of the other people. Guess how much Nancy Pelosi earns as the Speaker of the House? $223,000 in a year to work blank number of days. This is going to get real ridiculous here when I tell you how many days a week they earn or they work. So, you ready for the days a week? Did you leave it down in the comment section? I'm really interested to see what all of you are thinking. I anticipate a lot of you are probably going to say something like they work 0 days a week and 0 days a year, because that's practically true. So here you go. In the House of Representatives, they work an average of 147 days, legislative days in a year. Remember, I said the average American works 240 days a year. The House of Representatives works an average of 147 legislative days a year. Do you realize what that calculates out to? The average American, 240, the House of Representatives, 147. That is a difference of 93 days. Do you know what that means? Excluding weekends, they get 93 days of vacation. Can you imagine? 93 days of vacation in a year. How many weeks does that come out to? Let me do a quick math. I mean, that's like, what is that, 12 and a half weeks? Just roughly doing some math on that. 12 and a half weeks of vacation. When you were working full-time, how many weeks of vacation did you get? 1, 2, maybe 3 or 4 if you're lucky. Wow, 12 and a half weeks a year of vacation. All right, let's talk about the Senate. The Senate actually works, oh yeah, by the way, that averages out to 2 days a week. A little over 2 days a week that they get to work. Oh, what a life, right? All right, so the Senate, what about them? They work legislative days, 165. Ooh, wow, you guys are really putting in the time. They average 165 days, legislative days in a year. Wow. So when we calculate that out, again, the average American, 240 days a year, and minusing off the 165, that's a difference of 75 days of vacation. Again, excluding, wow. That's a lot of days. 75 days of vacation excluding weekends. So no wonder why they're on vacation all the time. They're on vacation right now. They're on vacation. Remember last year when we were talking about stimulus? It seemed like every other week. They'd come back for a week, they'd work and do nothing, and then they'd take Friday off. They'd come back the next day for like 2 or 3 days, and then they'd take off on recess for another month. Do you remember that? There was a lot of drama about that last year as we're trying to hammer out the next stimulus package and get some stimulus checks into the pockets of all the people who needed it. And there they are, disappearing on vacation. Wow. This was like really surprising when I saw these numbers. I did not realize this until just now when I came across all this, and I thought, wow, that is crazy. Like I said, I ran downstairs and I told Corey, and she's like, that's crazy, but I'm not surprised at the same time, because she sees me doing all these videos. She hears the videos, and she knows, what's going on somewhat. And she joins me in some of the videos. But anyway, I know a lot of you will probably feel like this is ridiculous and be like frustrated by this, but you know what? Some of you leave comments down below and be like, hey, how much does the average person earn? Well, there you go. The average person, 174 grand. Nancy Pelosi, 223. The leaders, as in Kevin McCarthy, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, these guys, $193,000 to work about 2.5 days a week. Wow. Well, the Senate actually about 3 days a week, roughly. So, wow. Anyway, thought you might find that to be interesting. I'm going to head back to it and do some more research. You can tell it's getting a little late in the day. What's the indicator? Can you tell? I'll give you a quick little look. I'll give you a little scruffy here. Yeah. But anyway, that's how you can tell it's getting a little late in the day. But anyway, have a nice day, everybody. Have a great night. Stay safe out there. Stay warm. I don't know where you're located, but wow. Where I am yesterday, the high was -6. The low was 20 below. This is the real air temperature, not wind chill. This is the real air temperature. When Corey and I woke up yesterday morning, -20 degrees. Hashtag upper Midwest. Wow, it's cold out there. I think the high today, like I said, was just a couple degrees below zero. We didn't even peek our head outside yesterday or today. We've been literally locked in our house. There's no reason to go out there. It's so cold. Wow, crazy. Anyway, enough out of me for the night. Have a good night, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. Just want to do whatever I can to help you out. But just, yeah, thanks again. Have a great night and sleep well. I'll see you again in the morning. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you later.